Yeah, joining us now is Michele Tafoya, Minnesota Senate candidate and former NFL sideline reporter. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Michele.
Good to see y'all.
You've sat and watched what's happened over the last couple of weeks in Minnesota. You've seen how Tim Walz, Jacob Frey have acted. You've seen how the DHS, ICE, and Border Patrol have acted under Kristi Noem and Greg Bovino. Now we have Tom Homan there. In your opinion, being someone who's trying to represent these folks in Minnesota, is this a necessary change by DHS?
Yeah, actually, I think the Trump administration, Joey, made a really good decision, a wise decision by sending Tom Homan to Minneapolis. Things had really gotten heated. Obviously, we suffered 2 deaths, Renee Good and Alex Preddy. There was nothing positive about that. I am really glad you had Mark Ross on earlier, the head of the St. Paul Police Federation, who told you that had they been allowed to do their jobs, had Jacob Frey, the mayor of Minneapolis, had the mayor of St. Paul, had Tim Walz allowed the local police officers to set up perimeters to protect these federal law enforcement agents from these protesters, because these weren't just peaceful protests, as you saw, then I think we would have avoided so much of the damage. But yes, things have really settled down since Tom Homan came in, and we hope it stays that way for sure.
Michele, the argument is that so much of the unrest, so much of the lack of cooperation we have seen in Minnesota is because trying to change the news cycle, trying to make it so that the fraud goes to the back pages, which, quite frankly, it has. But there are individuals like you that want to put it back on the front burner, and an individual by the name of David Hawk. He's a Minnesota whistleblower, and he said, look, if you thought you knew it was bad based upon what you knew at the time, wait until you hear what I have to say. Let's take a listen.
What I saw from this government over the weekend, last week, arresting Don Lemon, arresting independent journalists here in Minnesota, that should scare the hell out of all of us.
All right, apologize for that, Michele. We had a different soundbite. That was Ann Craig, the representative there, politician, and that's on the Don Lemon side of this, so I'll pivot, because that's what we do. You are in sports, you understand, you get a defense that's not the one you expect, and you got to call something different. When it comes to what you saw...
Sudden change,
right, you get it. When you saw what happened in Don Lemon going into that church, as a journalist, would you have ever dared walk into a church and ask people a question that was not about religion? I mean, go in there and pretend like you're Walter Cronkite when people are just trying to pray and talk to God.
Listen, it was a federal grand jury that indicted Don Lemon. And so the justice system is going to play this out. It's going to take its course. But there's something called the FACE Act, which not only protects abortion clinics, it protects houses of worship. And sadly, our Attorney General, Keith Ellison, wasn't aware of that. He didn't even know that houses of worship were protected by the FACE Act. That's sad, and it's frustrating to a lot of us. But so what happened in this case was these people's rights to worship were taken from them in the middle of this service in the most really despicable of ways. It was really awful. Everyone's seen the video. So we'll let this take its course. But Don Lemon is finding out something he always preached is true. No one is above the law, even TV personalities.
Well, Michele, it's good to see you. We just watched that clip of Kristi Noem, and she was talking about these protests being well-funded and well-organized. I want to focus on that well-funded piece. Do we know anything there? And would you, now running for U.S. Senate in the state of Minnesota, would you like to see an investigation into this?
Well, absolutely. I mean, we've heard this time and time again across the country that some of these biggest, loudest, most, I guess, successful protests by their standards are funded. And we've seen, the entrails of this. We see connections. Look, protest is fine when it's peaceful. I am all about the First Amendment. But when you start throwing cars into the mix, when you start throwing frozen water bottles, when you start throwing ice cubes, big chunks of ice at ICE law enforcement agents, when you start to do these things that are violent and dangerous, you are making the scene dangerous for everyone, yourselves and law enforcement included. So whoever's paying for this. You know, you see a lot of the gas masks, you see a lot of the signage that matches. I'm sure there were organic protesters as well, and that's fine. And if you don't like the law, we have a process in the United States of how to get that fixed. But we have this crisis of leadership here in Minnesota, and I think in many other places, where our government, quote unquote, leaders are saying, get in there, get in their face, disrupt, resist. And this is just laying the foundation for a really dangerous situation for everyone. This crisis of leadership is why I'm running for United States Senate.
Hi, Michelle. I want to go back to Todd's question about the fraud scandal in your state and this whistleblower, David Hawk, coming forward saying, hey, what we've talked about so far is just the tip of the iceberg. Let's hear what he has to say.
I've been running down this middle of the street with my hair on fire going, look at this fraud. And I put the number at $80 to $100 billion in Minnesota alone, going back to 1988, and you're going to find out that I'm right. And see how the number keeps ratcheting up? It was $250 million, then it was $1 billion, then it was $9 billion, now it's $18 billion. And I said, you got to keep going because you have to include all of these city money, county money, state money, federal money, grants.
Wow. You know, it really seems like this whole scandal has gotten swept under the rug with the riots and all of that. But I think there's going to be some testimony on Capitol Hill this week. If you're elected, how do you ensure this kind of pervasive fraud doesn't happen again?
Well, I'm really happy to see that the Department of Justice has assigned a director of this whole fraud oversight, because it is needed, not just in Minnesota, but nationwide. Look, you talked earlier about Gavin Newsom in California. I'm certain that it's going on in plenty of states where there's smoke, there's fire, where there's a crisis of leadership, where there are people unable to ask inconvenient questions in order to get the truth. You have results like this. And it's not just Minnesota's money. It's every U.S. Citizen's tax who's paying taxes. It's their money. So when they look around and they see the garbage not being picked up during the snow in New York, or they see potholes all over the streets in Minneapolis, they have to ask themselves, where did my money go? What are my tax dollars being used for? Did I buy someone a Rolex? Did they get lakefront property, or do they have a vacation home I don't know about? Because my tax dollars to the tune of billions and billions that was supposed to be going to children for meals or autism services or daycares is being stolen by criminals. And I don't care who the criminals are, they're committing crimes, and it's got to be cleaned up. This is our money, folks. Yours, your neighbors, everybody's money is being stolen by criminals, by people who are doing no work but just collecting the checks. We need new leadership. We need outsiders. So I'm running, and people can help at micheletavoya.com.
Michele Tafoya, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. You're there on the ground and you're asking for votes, so you'll have insight on how Minnesotans feel about this, and I hope you come back and share that with us.
Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.